you think of anyone that this budget is actually for, unless, apart from public sector workers and the NHS, which he's raising money to chuck at? You know, as I said yesterday, throwing £22 billion at the NHS, you might as well actually build it into a bonfire and set fire to it for all the effect it will have. From the NHS and public sector workers, I don't think anyone at all benefits from this budget.
Well, I'll tell you who benefits from this budget: the people who do the least. So basically benefits claimants, because what this budget should have done is incorporated a massive campaign to reduce the welfare bill. I mean, the welfare bill is out of all control. It is ludicrous how many young people are supposedly too sick to work and being supported by the state. These figures are absolutely off the chart, and they are completely unjustified. And by not announcing such a crackdown, Rachel Reeves basically turned this into a budget of removing resources from those who work in order to keep on sustaining those who frankly can't be bothered to get out of bed and get themselves out, whether it's to an office or to any kind of job, and prefer to just sit on the sofa and order their Deliveroo and drive their Motability-free vehicle and take everything that the state can offer. And the state, well, that is people like you and me and our very many listeners who are grafting just to try to make ends meet. And basically, these people are, frankly, parasites.
Hello, Isabel Oakeshott is back. Famously the woman who backstabbed quite publicly Matt Hancock and the Pandemic Diaries. I usually steer clear of TalkTV since it often features some pretty intense commentary, but this recent segment with Isabel Oakeshott caught my attention. Oakeshott, who is known to many people as Richard Tice's partner from Reform UK, my MP, took to the airwaves to attack those on benefits, calling them parasites and living off the hard work of taxpayers. Meanwhile, her co-host bashed the recent budget, criticising its focus on the NHS and public spending, whilst labelling Keir Starmer as a socialist. Well, some socialists would argue about that. In all honesty, this kind of rhetoric really misses the mark. For example, the NHS is continually underfunded. When we hear about record funding, it's crucial to ask, is it enough, and where is it going? A significant portion of that funding ends up with private contractors rather than directly benefiting the NHS. Their critique of benefits claimants really struck at him. Yes, there may be some people who misuse the system, but the majority of those on benefits are either awaiting medical treatment to help them return to work, or are actually working but still not earning enough due to low wages or unstable contracts. In fact, around 40% of universal credit claimants are already employed, yet channels like TalkTV and GB News seems fixated on vilifying the poorest, rather than addressing the root issues affecting everyday working people. The real parasites aren't those struggling to get by, but rather the ultra-wealthy who exploit tax loopholes or stash funds offshore. Oakeshott's show, for example, won't typically call out these tax avoiders or those who manipulate the system to protect their wealth. Instead, they redirect attention downwards, stirring up resentment toward those who have the least rather than those who profit without fair contribution. Their socialist budget argument is quite frankly deplorable. The budget we saw isn't redirecting or redistributing wealth in any meaningful way. It's attempting to patch up a struggling NHS, but without the transformative funding it truly needs. If we were seeing real socialism, we'd be witnessing moves towards nationalising critical services or actual wealth redistribution, neither of which are on the table. Ultimately, this kind of narrative isn't about constructive criticism, but about pushing an agenda that favours tax cuts for the wealthiest while distracting the public with scapegoating and fear-mongering. Instead of being angry at those who struggle to make ends meet, we need to focus on the broader systemic issues and push for real solutions. But let me know what you think in the comments. I've been Jay from Just Jake. As always, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. You actually made it to the end of the video. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, which, why haven't you already, is somewhere over there. And also, if you want to watch more videos, also check out over there. I've been Jake from Just Jake. See you later.